Welcome to the BrainX channel. In this video, we are going to learn how to change numbers to prime bases. We do this because when numbers have exponents, we cannot always combine them as ordinary numbers. Exponent laws only work when the bases are the same. So, if the bases do not look the same, we sometimes rewrite the numbers into prime bases. And by changing numbers to prime bases helps us see whether the numbers are actually built from the same base. So, let's start with the basic idea. Now, the question is, what does it mean to change to a prime base? Now, a prime base is a base that is a prime number. And a prime number is a number that has exactly two factors, 1 and itself. And important prime bases that you will use the most are 2, 3, 5, and 7. But let's quickly look at two examples. Here we have 8. Now, 8 is not a prime number because it has more than two factors. So, if we want to change 8 to a prime base, we need to break 8 down into the prime numbers that multiply together to make 8. In other words, we want to find the prime factors of 8. So we start by asking ourselves which two numbers can multiply together to give us 8. And that is 2 times 4 or 4 times 2, it doesn't matter. Now have a look. 2 is a prime number, but 4 is not a prime number. And remember, we need to find all the prime numbers that multiply together to make up 8. So I need to still break down this 4. So I'm going to rewrite the 2, and then I'm going to take my 4 and ask myself again, which two numbers, when multiplied together, will give me 4? And yes, the answer is 2 times 2. So now we only see prime factors. So what we can do now is to combine all of them. Because we are multiplying, I can see I have the same base. So I can add my exponents. So you keep your base, which is 2, and you add your exponents, 1 plus 1 plus 1, and that gives you 2 to the power of 3, or 2 cubed. Let's quickly have a look at another example. Here we have 48. Now 48 is also not a prime number because it has more than two factors. So we need to find the prime factors of 48. So again, ask yourself, which two numbers can multiply together to give us 48? And yes, 6 times 8 multiplies to give us 48. Now notice here that both the 6 and the 8 are not prime numbers. And we need to find the prime factors for 48. So I'm going to take my 6 and I'm going to find two numbers when multiplied together will give us 6. And that is 2 times 3. And now let's have a look at the 8. We've already established that 8 can be written as 2 cubed. So I'm just going to write times 2 cubed. Okay, now everything is written as prime factors. Now we're going to combine all our like factors together. And to do that, I'm going to find bases that are the same. And in this case, 2. That means I can keep my base and I just add the exponents. And that is what we are left with. If you are allowed to use a calculator in your test or exam, you can use your calculator to find the prime factorization of a number. For a Casio calculator, you can follow these steps. First, type in the number, and in this example, we type in 48. Then press the equals button. After that, press Shift, and then press the button that says Fact. The calculator will now show 48 as a product of prime factors. It is the same answer worked out previously. And here are some important conversions that you will use often. You do not need to memorize every possible number, but these do come up often. So the more you practice them, the easier they become to recognize. All right, let's convert some numbers to prime bases by starting with this example that only contains numbers. Remember to always write down the original expression so that you have something to work from, especially in a test or exam. Looking at this fraction, I can immediately see that the 16 and this 9 are not prime numbers. So we want to rewrite them using prime bases. And to do that, we first find their prime factors. Now, if you are allowed to use a calculator in your exam, you can follow these steps on the screen to factorize the 16 and 9 into prime factors. I will, however, show you how to find the prime factors if you are not allowed to use a calculator, or if you want to understand where this comes from. First up, I know that I'm still dealing with a fraction here, so I'm going to start by drawing a fraction line. For now, I'm only going to rewrite this 16 and the 9 and leave the rest as is. Let's start with the numerator. Now, if you can recall earlier in this video, I showed you a list of important conversions, and 16 was one of them. We said that 16 can be rewritten as 2 to the power of 4. So if you know this, you can most certainly write it down. So I'm going to write 2 to the power of 4. If you can't remember, let me show you how to work it out. To find the prime factors of 16, we have to break 16 down into smaller factors until only prime numbers are left. For example, 4 times 4 gives us 16, but also 2 times 8 gives us 16. Doesn't matter which one of these factor pairs you use, if done correctly, you will get to the correct answer. But let's work with this factor pair. 4 is not a prime number, so I need to break it down further. And 2 multiplied by 2 gives me 4, and I still need to deal with this 4, and I have to break that one down as well. 2 times 2. What do you see? Yes, all the factors are prime factors. And because we have 4 2's, we can write 2 to the power of 4. Okay, like I said, I'm only going to change these two numbers for now, so I'm going to leave the rest of my numerator as is. Now let's have a look at the denominator. 2 to the power of 4, I can leave that one for now because 2 is already a prime number. 3 squared, I can leave it as is because 3 is a prime number. Now we also have this 9 in the denominator. 9 is not a prime number, so we need to rewrite it using a prime base. Now, if you can recall, 9 is also on our list of important conversions. That means we can rewrite 9 as 3 squared. So now 9 is written as a power with prime base 3. Now that I've rewritten 16 and 9 as powers with prime bases, I can start applying the exponent laws. So let's begin with the numerator. I know that we are still dealing with a fraction, so I'm going to draw my fraction line. And let's have a look at this first factor. Here it is 2 to the power of 4. I can do nothing with this yet, so I'm just going to write it down. I'm going to put the dot here. It means multiplication. And now let's have a look at what we've got here. Here I have a power that is raised to another power. That means I can multiply my exponents. So we keep the base, which is 3, and then we multiply the exponents, which is 2 times 3, and that is 6. Okay, there's nothing else to do in the numerator for now, so I'm going to move to the denominator. Here we've got 2 to the power of 4. I can't do anything with this yet, so I'm just going to rewrite that. And now let's have a look. I'm multiplying. My bases are the same, so I can add my exponent. So I'm going to keep my base, and I'm going to add the exponents. 2 plus 2 is 4. Okay, let's have a look at what we've got now. In the numerator and the denominator, we've got simplified factors, but we have to try and simplify this even further. And to do that, you can try to cancel or you can use the exponent laws. So let's have a look. Here I have 2 to the power of 4 and in the denominator 2 to the power of 4. I know I can cancel these two because they are on opposite sides of the line. So I can cancel these two. Now what we are left with is 3 to the power of 6 and 3 to the power of 4. They don't look the same, so we can't cancel, but the bases are the same and we are dividing. And when we divide and our bases are the same, we can subtract our exponents. So I'm going to write 3 to the power of 6 minus 4. And that leaves us with 3 squared. And then we are going to write this as a normal number. 3 squared is 9. And this is the final simplified answer. Let's do one more basic example in this introduction video, but this time with variable exponents. We need to simplify this algebraic fraction. Now, looking at this fraction, I can immediately see that the 4 and this 12 are not prime numbers. So we want to rewrite them using prime bases. And how do we do that? Yes, we first find their prime factors. Because this example has variable exponents, here, here, and here, we need to pay close attention. We cannot just combine 4 and 12 as if there are no exponents. And why not? Because the exponent belongs to that whole number. So this 4 to the power of x means 4 times 4 times 4 times x times. And it is the same with this 12 to the power of x. It means 12 times 12 times 12 times x times. So the 4 and the 12 are not just ordinary numbers standing on their own anymore. At this stage, they are bases with exponents attached. And that is why we first rewrite them using prime bases. First up, I know that we are still dealing with a fraction, so I'm going to draw a fraction line. For now, I'm only going to rewrite the 4 and the 12, and we are going to leave the rest as is. So I'm going to write 3 to the power of x, all raised to the power of 2, multiplied by, and now this 4 is one of those numbers in the list of the important conversions, but also 4 is one of the simple ones. We know that 4 equals 2 times 2, and that equals to 2 squared. That means that this 4 can be written as a power with a prime base of 2. So I'm going to write 2 to the power of 2. It is very important that when we rewrite it as this power with a prime base, that we keep it in brackets. And why do we do that? Because this exponent x belongs to that whole 4. And since 4 is also equal to 2 squared, that x must belong to that whole 2 squared. Now let's look at the 12 in the denominator. 12 is not a prime number, so we need to rewrite it using prime bases. And to find the prime factors of 12, we break down the 12 into smaller factors until only prime numbers are left. For example, 12 is equal to 3 times 4. Now, this 3 is already a prime number, so we leave it as 3, but this 4 is not a prime number. So we have to break it down further. And that gives us 2 times 2. Now all the factors are prime numbers. We've got this 3 multiplied by 2 times 2. Now usually we write the smaller prime bases first, so I'm going to write 2 times 2 and times 3. And this can be rewritten as 2 squared multiplied by 3. Now we can rewrite the denominator. The original expression was 12 to the power of x, but now I'm going to replace this 12 with this. So I'm going to write 2 squared multiplied by 3, and now it's important again to add the brackets. And then we apply the exponent to that whole bracket. These brackets are very important because it shows that this x applies to everything that is inside the bracket. It applies to this 2 squared and it applies to this 3. Just like this x applied to this whole 12. And this whole 12 is equal to everything that is inside this bracket. Now that everything is written using prime bases, we can start applying exponent laws. Again, I know I'm still dealing with a fraction, so I'm going to draw the fraction line, and then we will deal with the numerator first. In the numerator, we have two factors, this one and this one. So let's start with the first factor. We have 3 to the power of x, all raised to the power of 2. Now, immediately, I can see it is a power raised to another power. So I can keep my base, and then I can multiply my exponents. X times 2 gives me 2x. Next up, we have 2 squared, all raised to the power of x. Again, I can keep my base, and I can multiply my exponents. 2 times x is 2x. Okay, the numerator is done. Now let's deal with the denominator. Here I have a bracket with two factors inside the bracket and an exponent outside the bracket. Now this exponent must be applied to both these factors inside the bracket. So we keep the base 2, and it is 2 times x gives us 2x. Now let's have a look at the 3. It's 3 to the power of 1. So I can multiply the 1 by the x. I keep my base. 1 times x is x. Okay, the numerator and denominator is simplified as much as possible. So what we need to do now is to see if we can cancel anything or even apply any other exponent laws to simplify this fraction even further. So when I have a look at this, I can see I've got a 2 to the power of 2x at the top and a 2 to the power of 2x at the bottom, which means I can cancel them because they are on different sides of the fraction line. Now let's see what is left. We've got 3 to the power of 2x left and 3 to the power of x. The bases are the same and we are dividing, so that means I can keep my base and I can subtract my exponents, which is 2x minus x. And that leaves me with 3 to the power of x. So this is the final answer.